What is up, guys? Pizza Boy here with another video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, and sorry for that weird shadow. That's some serious light. So today I thought that I would do a 5 things that I love about my R56 Mini Cooper S. I know that I've done a review that I didn't post. I just thought I'd do a 5 things, and I'd do another video of the 5 things that I hate the most about my Mini Cooper. Now, I do know that my Mini Cooper is modified quite a bit with some engine modifications and the exhaust and then the massive wing that's back there. But I think my 5 things is just going to be before I modified it, just as it was, the 5 things that I hate the most about my Mini Cooper, or the 5 things that I love about my Mini Cooper. Alright. We're going to start off with the 5 things I hate the most about my Mini Cooper R56S. Number 1 is going to have to be, and this is in no specific order at all, this is just going down the line. If I had to pick one, this would probably be my biggest one that I hate the most. And number 1 is the engine noise. This car sounds like it's a diesel truck. You know, I've heard a whole bunch of other Mini Coopers, I've talked to a bunch of other Mini Cooper owners, and it's the same thing all across the board. Mini Coopers sound like diesel trucks. They have these engines that make this weird noise, and it's annoying, especially when you drive through like a car park or a parking lot, or you know, or you go to a car show and you have this cute little car, but it sounds like it doesn't belong in this car. I know that, you know, over in England or in Europe they have a Mini D, which is a diesel version, which would make sense, but for some reason, even if you have a normal gas engine, it still sounds like it's a diesel engine, and that to me it's so frustrating. Here's a sound clip of the engine noise. Number 2, going down the line on the list, is I would have to say the climate controls. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the design of the interior and the circles and everything. It adds to the cuteness and the mini factor, and you know, it all works, it all flows, don't get me wrong. But the system that they use for this air conditioning system is weird, because let's say you have you know, the air blowing up on your windshield or something. You're like, oh, you know what, my feet are cold, I'm gonna, you know, you switch it. So you switch the dial. Usually in other cars, you know, it would switch immediately. The air would just go right through there. But for this system, it has to go through all of the steps of the climate control system. So that means it goes from the windshield to the face and then to the bottom. Like, it goes up and down the level, so you get this blast of air at every level when you go up or down. You know, so if you switch it from the feet to the dash, you're gonna get this massive rush of air going all the way through the cab. It doesn't just stop, switch to the top, it goes all the way through the system. It's a little annoying, you know, it's a first world problem for sure, but after a while it just tends to get a little redundant. The 3rd thing that I hate about my Mini Cooper R56 would have to probably be the trunk space. Now, the trunk space is decently sized for a car this small. It's not terrible. You can fit, you know, your daily amount of groceries or your weekly grocery trip in there. Not that big of a deal. You can put it on the back seats, easy. The gripe that I have with the back space is that it's not big enough to fit a spare tire. And the spare tire is important because, you know, for Mini Coopers, you have to have run flat tires, since you can't have a spare. So that means that you have to deal with this harsher ride everywhere you go, and the Mini Cooper ride is already harsh enough. So you add in the mix of that, of the run flat tires, and it just kind of adds that that next level of stiffness, and you know, it could be better. Like, if this thing had regular tires, this ride would be so much more livable. Not that it's not already livable, it would just be that much more comfortable and that much nicer to drive, I think, in my opinion. And number 4 on my list would probably have to be driving in the rain. Now, it's confusing to me because Mini Cooper is essentially English. And I believe, you know, let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe it rains there quite a bit. And for some reason, whenever I drive this car in the rain, it is the worst car to drive in the rain. Yes, you have fantastic visibility, but the angles of all the windows, since they all kind of go upwards and the top is, you know, shorter than the bottom, the rain for some reason just stays there. It doesn't leave, and it just, you know, I've been on the freeway where, you know, rain is just dumping and pouring over the front of the car, and you're just constantly dealing with this force of nature that, you know, in any other sedan or slightly larger car would be easier to deal with. Number 5 on my list, and this might be the biggest one compared to the engine noise. It'll be up there for sure. My biggest gripe, or one of my biggest gripes, would have to be the warning gauges in this car. Now, the Mini has a really big speedometer, and it has a small tachometer right in front of the steering wheel, right? And the issue I have, and it has this little screen, right? And it's perfect for showing you how fast you're going. It does a fantastic job with that. You know, that way you don't need to go look over this massive, you know, speedometer and stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna flip a U-turn real quick. So that little screen works perfect for telling you, you know, how fast you're going and all that stuff. It does that job perfectly. That way you don't need to look at this massive speedometer the whole time. You don't need to keep looking like that. The issue I have is that since it's the only large digital screen, it's where they've decided to put all of your warning lights, which means that you know, if you're low on gas or something, the warning light is going to take over the speedometer. So so sometimes, you know, you're trying to, you know, shift through gears and you look down, you don't know how fast you're going, and the tachometer, you know, whatever. So that means that all the information you get for your car comes to this little screen, and that to me is a little tedious. The bigger problem though with this is that whenever it is low on gas, or it's warning you that you have a check engine light, or anything else that happens, Mini or BMW or whoever designed the system decided it was a good idea to set the warning sound that comes on at the same level as whatever your stereo level is at that moment. So let's say, for instance, you're, you know, listening to music and it's, you know, you're at 10. If your volume can go to 10, it's at 10. And you're listening to music and all that stuff, and then out of nowhere you hear this massive, the warning sound is this. It is so loud that it's scary sometimes. Let's say, for instance, you hop in your car and you were listening to music the night before and you left the volume at 10, right? You hop in your car, and the minute you hop in and turn it on, that dinging noise is at a 10 the whole time it's telling you. And that is a scary sound, and it gets so annoying. You know, it's surprising, and the logic in that system to me is so flawed, it's ridiculous. And it's so annoying sometimes. I don't know if you can tell, it really gets under my skin, especially when you're driving out with friends and stuff, you know, and on comes this noise that's just, it just doesn't work, you know? Anyway. Alright, so that's going to be the list for the top 5 things that I hate the most about my Mini Cooper R56. Watch the next video to see the top 5 things that I love the most about my Mini Cooper R56.